Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will explain how to edit and update a record from MySQL database in Python Django web tutorials. Now let's change the Jack record. Here we got the Jack details. Here I want to change the Jack email. Right now the Jack email is j@gmail. I'm adding jack@gmail and Jack Peter, and his salary is 1500. Let's update the Jack details. Click update. See, here we got a message, record updated successfully. Let's check the Jack details here. Click browse. See here the Jack details, we got Jack Peter right now. See here with the see the Jack details here. Before it was Jack, now Jack Peter, jack@gmail.com, and salary is 1500. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a new project in Django web application, first we'll check the table and the column names. I just logged into my PHP my admin database, which is MySQL server. The table name is the EMP details, which contains 4 columns. Now my aim is I want to edit a particular selected employee details in Django web applications. So let's create a new project in Django. Before creating a new web application in Django, first we'll create a new folder in this local disk D drive. Right click the mouse, click new and select folder. Let's give the folder name is Django edit update records, and this is the folder name. Let's browse this folder. Right now this folder contains empty records. Let's create a new Django web application in this folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to create the Django web application. Go to File. First, let's add the folder name which we have created. Go to Open Folder. The folder we have created in this local disk D drive, and the folder name is Django Edit Update. Select folder. And here the folder is added to our Explorer panel. At the right side we got welcome page. Let's close this page, welcome. Right now this folder contains empty. Let's minimize and maximize. Now let's create a new Django web application in this folder. For that, go to view and select terminal. And the terminal, which is a command prompt, to create a Django web application, first Django -admin start project, and the project name is edit record is my application name. Edit record is the application name. Click enter. And notice the edit record, the application is added successfully into this project folder. Now let me expand this application. If you notice, the application contains one subfolder and one manage.py. Let me expand this subfolder also. And if you notice, in this edit record, which contains some default files, Python files, settings.py, URLs, all these files are created automatically when I create this project edit record. Now after creating the application, now we require one template folder to browse our HTML pages. So for that, select our application name, right click the mouse, click new folder. Let's give the folder name is a templates, enter. And here we got our templates. Right click the mouse, let's add our HTML file. Click new file. The file name I'm giving index.html. And here we got our index.html page. Let's add some HTML code. Doc type. I'm closing the HTML tag. Inside the HTML, I'm adding the header section. In the header section, I am adding the title tag, and the title is edit and update records. After the header section, I am adding the body tag. Inside the body tag, I am adding center tag, and the center tag I am adding h1. Headings are how to edit and update records in Django. Django Python web tutorials. After headings, I am adding one horizontal line. Now, after the horizontal line, I am adding a simple table element which contains to display all the records from the EMP employee details. This table I want to display in this table, so let's add the table element, and the table I am adding the border is equals to 1. This table contains a subtags tr. In this table rows I am adding table headers. One is the employee ID, say E, this one is E, and the second heading is employee name, email and salary. Let's add those all. Employee name, email, table heading is the salary, and after that I am adding another tr. In this tr, the table data we are getting from the database, from this EMP details table. So for that we require database connection string. So before adding the connection strings in this Django web application, let's save this file, save all. After saving this file, let's create one models file in this subfolder. Right click the mouse, click new file, and the file name is models.py. And here we got the models.py page. Now in this models page contains the properties, and now in this models page I'll create one class which contains the properties and the table name. So let's add that one first. Before that, let's import the namespace from django.db import models. After importing the models, let's create a class edit update or record is my class name, models.model column. Now let's add the properties. In our table we have 4 columns. The ID column is the auto generate column, so I am not adding this ID column. So I require 3 properties. So I require 3 properties: the EMP name, email and salary. Let's add that one. EMP name is equals to models dot, this one is a models dot, C is a capital, tab field, add the max underscore length is equals to 100. And the next one, email is equals to, I'm adding the same character type, and the salary is equals to models dot integer field. After that I'll add one more meta class which contains our table name. So add that one class, M is capital in the meta, and the table name is db underscore table is equals to, between double quotes I'm adding the table name. Our table name is EMP details. Let's copy that one, the table name, and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now the next step, we require one views page to display the records. So again, go to subfolder, edit record, right click the mouse, click new file. The file name is a views.py, enter, and here we got the views.py. Now first, in this views.python page, let's import the necessary classes from Django.shortcuts import, importing the render class, and the second I'm importing a class name from this models page, which is the edit update record. Copy that one from, and this models class and this models page is in the edit record, so add that one is capital edit record, or this zero or the edit record. Our application name dot models import, I'm adding the class name from the models page. After that, let's define the function. The function is display data. First I want to display data before editing the records, so this take the parameter request colon. Now in this function, first I will declare one variable to fetch all the records. So here get results, let's define the results here. The results is equals to the class name dot objects dot all method, then this function return render method. I want to render my HTML page, so I'm requesting between double quotes index dot I small I index dot HTML, and then the last parameter is I want to display the records, so between curly braces I'm defining the dictionary here between double quotes. The value, the key is the class name, which is the edit update record, and the values we are getting from this results, so add that one colon results. That's it. Let's save this views.py page, save all. So now the next step, we need to configure our URL patterns also for this application. Open urls.py. In the urls.py, come to the bottom. Notice the path is the default admin path, which I don't require, so I'm commenting with hash. Our path is single quotes colon. The template we are getting from this views page, I want to render index.html. So first we require from dot import views, and here from the views the function name is display data. That's it. Let's save this file also, save all. Now the most important step, we need to configure our database, the application and the template also in this settings.py. Open settings.py, and the settings.py, come to the bottom. First we require to install app. Let's add our application name. So this is our application name, edit record. In single quotes I'm adding our application name, our project name, then come to the bottom, and then if you notice in the template section there is a directories. So I want to join the base directory with these templates. For that, os.path.join method, base directory, base underscore dir, comma, between single quotes I am adding the folder name, which is the templates. Next step, come to the bottom in the database section. Notice the database is a default database SQLite 3, but our database is MySQL, which is PHP MyAdmin. So let's delete the SQLite 3, add our MySQL, and the name, let's delete this default line, and the name here, let's add our database name. Our database name is SampleDB, so let's add that one, SampleDB. After that, let's add the username, which is the root. Small letters are small one, root, comma, password, Here the password I'm leaving blank because I don't have any password to log into my PHP my admin database. If you have any password, please enter between these single quotes. After the password, we require the host also. Host is host colon. Here the host is a local host colon, and we require the port number of our database. The port number of MySQL is 3306. Let's add that one between single quotes 3306, and the last one I'm adding the options colon between curly braces, and the curly braces between single quotes init underscore command colon between double quotes. I'm setting the SQL mode, set SQL underscore mode is equals to between single quotes strict underscore trans underscore tables. That's it. We have configured our database connection string, and the template also we have configured, and as well as our application name also we have installed in this app. Let's save this file, save all. Now the final step, we need to bind the data, the table data in this table. So for that, here I am adding for loop for percentage for display emp is an object, display emp is an object in the data we are getting from this class name edit update record. Let's add that one here. Let's close this for loop percentage and file. Now in the tr, let's add td between double curly braces. I'm adding the display emp, this variable dot, I'm adding the column names. The first one is the id, next td between double curly braces display name, display emp dot emp name, td again between double quotes I'm adding the next column name is email, and td between double curly braces the last one display emp dot, the last column name is salary. So let's add that one, salary between double curly braces. That's it. We have done the complete coding part to display the records from this table emp details into this table using Django web application. Let's save this file. Now before adding the edit functionality, first we'll check the records are displaying or not in this index.html. So again switch to the command prompt, which is our terminal. Before run the server, first we need to add this edit record, cd edit record, then python manage.py. To run the server we need to add this manage.py here, then add run server, enter. And after we run the server, there is no issues found in our application, and below that we got our the server link, control plus mouse click, and here we got the results. Oops, so here we forgot to add one more bracket here. Let's add that one. I forgot to add one more curly braces. Let's save this file, save all. Now I'm reloading the browser. So here we got the employee IDs, employee name, email and salary. Here we got one tag is not closed properly. Service file, save all. I'm reloading the browser. Up to now we have just finished the first part to display the records into this table. Now the second part is to add the edit and update functionality. First we'll add one edit link column for this table. So you can switch back to the index.html, come to the bottom in the table section. Let's add the TD. In this TD I'm adding a simple href link. Href is equals to between double quotes. When a user wants to edit a particular employee record, I want to open a new window before update the records. So here I'm adding the edit. Let's add the hash here. Now let's save this file. We'll check this edit column is added or not. File open, save all. Now open the browser and reload this page. And here we got the edit links. Now let's add a new edit page. Switch to the Visual Studio and the templates. Right click the templates folder, click new file, and the file name is edit.html. Let's enter. And here we got our edit.html page. Let's add some HTML doc type. Doc type HTML. Let's close the HTML. And here I'm adding header section. And the header section I'm adding the title, edit employee details. After the header section I'm adding the body tag. Inside the body I'm adding center tag. Now inside the center tag, let's add the headings here, edit and update employee record. After that I'm adding horizontal line. Now after the horizontal line, I want to display the selected employee record of the employee details in a table. So let's add the table element, and this table contains a border is equals to 1. In the table we have TR and TD. The first TD is employee ID, TD. The employee ID I'm adding the input type is equals to text. Let's close the input element. TR, TD, employee name. Next TD is a text box control. Input type is equals to text element. After that, another TR. The TD is the email, TD, input type is equals to text, and the last one TR, TD, the last one is the salary. TD input type is equals to text. Let's close the text box element. Now after the table, I'm adding one simple button control. Input type is equals to submit, and the value of the button is update. Let's close the button control. That's it. We have just finished the designing part in the edit. Now we require the selected employee details are displayed in this text box controls. So for that we require the coding. Before that, let's save this file, save all, open views.py. Now in the views page, let's define another function, diff edit emp, which takes two parameters, the request and I'm adding the ID. So we are fetching the records based on the selected employee ID. So here I'm adding the ID parameter. Display emp is a variable is equals to. Let's add this edit update record, the class name from this models page dot objects dot get method, and this get method takes a parameter ID is equals to ID. Then I'll return this function, return render request comma, and let's add our template name is edit.html, and the third parameter between curly braces, double quotes, let's add the dictionary in this class name. The key is the class name and the value is this one, display emp. The values we are getting from this variable display emp. That's it. It's a simple code to get the employee details. Now let's save this file, save all. Now the next step, we need to configure the URLs also. Open urls.py, and the urls.py, the path between single quotes, it's edit, and the integer type colon ID comma views dot, let's add the function name. This function I want to render edit emp. Let's copy this one and paste here. Make sure give here comma, otherwise we'll get an error. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now switch to the index.html. Here the href link between double quotes, we need to add the path name. Here we give an edit and the ID. The ID we are getting from this one, display emp.id. Copy this one and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now once user clicks a particular edit button in the edit template, I want to display the records here. So here the name is equals to ID and the value is equals to between double quotes, and here the value between curly braces, the values we are getting from this models page. Let's add this, copy this one, the edit, copy this one dot ID, and I'm adding the property read only for this ID column, read only. And the next one, name is equals to emp name, emp name, emp name, value is equals to, between curly braces, double curly braces, the expression is this class name dot emp name. The next attribute is name email, and the value is equals to the expression between double curly braces. This is the class name from the models page, email, the column name, and we require the salary. Name is equals to salary, and the value is equals to, between double curly braces, this class name dot salary. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. That's it. Now let's check the output. The selected employee details are displaying in this edit HTML page or not. I'm reloading the browser. After I reload the browser, let's select the 6 employee ID Henry, click edit. See here, it's redirecting the edit page, and notice the URL is showing the ID is 6. This is the employee ID 6 Henry. It's email and salary. The ID column is the read only column, so we can't update. The employee name we can update. Now the next we require to update the particular employee details. For example, if the employee name here is Henry, I want to change to Harry, and use a quick update, it will be updated in the database. So let's add the functionality to update the employee details. Switch to the coding part. Now first let's add a new page, forms.py. Select the subfolder, right click the mouse, click new file, add the file name is forms.py, enter, and here we got the forms.py. First let's import the necessary classes here from Django. From Django I'm importing the forms class. Next we need to import the class also from this model page. From the class is in this folder edit record. Let's add that one, edit record dot models. From this models I'm importing this class name, edit update record. Copy that one and paste here. Let's define a class here, class emp forms. In this forms dot model form colon. Now in this class I'm defining another class which is a meta class. Now in this meta class I'm defining the model is equals to, from the model class I'm adding this class name and fields. From this class I'm getting the fields is equals to, between double quotes, double underscore all. I want to get all the fields from this class. Let's save this file, save all. Now the next step, open views. Let's create a new function to update the record. Def update emp, the request id colon. Let's declare the variable update emp is equals to class name. The same line we need to add here. I want to update the particular employee record, the ID. Then Then let's declare a variable form to get the fields from this forms page. Form is equals to, let's add the EMP forms, copy this one and paste here. So we need to add the class here also from this forms page in this folder. So edit record dot forms, it's not capital, it's forms, import, this is the form name, the class name in the forms, and this class request dot post comma, and the second parameter is the instance, which is the update EMP. Instance is equals to this update EMP. If form dot is underscore valid colon, I want to save the details, the update details, form dot save method. Once the record is updated successfully, I want to display the message. So here I'm importing another class from django.contrib import, it's not double p, it's single p, import messages. From this messages class, messages dot success method. In this success method, first one I'm adding the request record updated successful. It returns the function return, and it returns, instead of writing this one, I want to return the same edit page. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. Now let's open the urls.py. Let's add the path name here, comma, path, between single quotes. The path here is the update, and the views, the update record. This is the update EMP. Copy this one, update slash init int id comma views dot the function name, views dot the update function name. That's it. Let's save this file URLs also. Now the final step, open the edit.html. Let's put this in a form tag, and this form method is post. We are posting the data, and the action here, the action is equals to, between double quotes, here the action is we need to add this URL, the update, this URL, this update /update. The update, we are getting the ID, we are updating this employee ID, so add this ID value here, and the form tag I'm closing after the submit button. And one more important step here is we need to add between curly braces percentage CSRF underscore token. When we are posting data in Django web application, we must add this token, otherwise we'll get an error. This CSRF underscore token, it prevents the data from the hackers. So once the record is updated successfully, I want to display the message here font tag between curly braces percentage if the message we are getting from this message is class percentage. Let's close with and if inside the if condition I'm adding the for loop for update record is a variable in messages. Let's close the for loop percentage and for the curly braces double curly braces update record, this variable I am adding. So this message we are getting from this views record updated successfully. So put this one in the h3 tags, copy this one and paste here. And style, let's add the style here. Style is equals to color colon green and also I'm adding call type here, type symbol href back to home page. This href curly braces percentage URL between double single quotes. Here I'm adding open user.py. The home page name is equals to between double quotes I'm adding display data. Let's save this file, save all, and then the edit.html I'm adding here display data. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. We'll check the final output on the browser. I'm reloading the browser. I'm not reloading. And here we got the final output. Let's edit wiki. And here we got the edit wiki details. Let's update the salary of the edit wiki. Let's add 7,000. Let's update the wiki details update. So here we got an error, display EMP is not defined. In views 21, let's check that one. The views. Friends, here it's not. Here the values we are update EMP. Sorry for that. Let's save this file, save all. Now we check. I'm reloading the browser. Here we got another error, value error. The value could not be changed because the data did not validate. Let's check that one. In the views, here the update EMP method, this function we need to add is validate is a method. So let's save this file. I hope this time it works perfectly. The server is reloading. Let's refresh this one. Let's reload the browser. Notice here the 7,000 is updated. 7,000. Now let's change the jack record. here we got the Jack details. Here I want to change the Jack email. Right now the Jack email is j@gmail. I'm adding Jack at Gmail and Jack Peter, and his salary is 1500. Let's update the Jack details. Click update. See, here we got a message, record updated successfully. Let's check the Jack details here. Click browse and see the Jack details here. Before it was Jack, now Jack Peter, Jack at gmail.com, and salary is 1500. And also when you go and back to home page, so here we got the back details. That's it in this video tutorial. I have explained how to edit and update the records in Django.